Got my pen. Yep, got my pen. All right, well, good morning, everybody. We are actually at a location up in Iowa. Every year, actually, well, every other year in, I believe it's Boone, Iowa, they have something called Farm Progress. And my company has been going for the last couple years. So I figured I'd bring you along, not necessarily to see what I do, but just to see the show itself. Most people, I don't believe, know the infrastructure that goes into the farming aspect, how their food gets places, or just general, little things that they use. And especially for what a farmer needs, this show can kind of give you a indication of somewhat of how they have to do their job, which puts food on the table, puts, it's not just food, there's other things, but at the very least, this is kind of showing the new technology that's out there today. So we're gonna head about 30 minutes north, because we're currently in Des Moines, and hopefully we can get a good spot, because if you don't get there in a certain amount of time, then you're stuck in traffic. So let's try to get there before traffic hits. All right, well, here we are. Pulled this down and they had us move. So now we're in a new spot. Oh, now let's get in there. Apologize for the wind. It's really windy out here today. But here's where we are. Farm Progress, before they even open the gates. We've actually got Klaus right here. There's a Geringhoff. Just many other brands. JCB is right next to us. They're fun to watch at Monster Jam. But yeah, this is essentially Farm Progress. It's just showing all the equipment that can be used for the agriculture industry. And it's a huge business because, well, I mean, it feeds us. It keeps us alive. So I wanted to do a little bit of walking around just to show some things before they actually open the gates. But this is essentially what we'll be doing all day. We got Ford trucks, Ford vehicles in general. Tractors. These things. The names escape me, but I'll probably put a subtitle in. And then grain bins. What does that say? Those are duct work. Try not to get too far away from my booth, but I've been here a few times. It's been really fun every time I come here to see what goes on, what new technology's out. First time I was here was a couple years ago, and they brought out drones for, I think, the first time. And I had seen stuff on them, and I'm trying to see if one of the booths is close by. It might be off one of the ends. But just all the technology you see here that you not necessarily wouldn't think of at least for the layman. But it's just interesting to see the stuff that happens in the back end before it hits the shelves. And most people don't understand what goes into putting food on the table. And just coming to this show might give you a perspective as to what goes into that. I mean, just look at this. This one of these things right here. Let me see if I can see it on my screen. Yeah, just one of these things right here. Essential for getting grain and stuff into a bin. And then let's move up here a little bit. Where's some other stuff? Let's come up here. I believe this right here is a disc harrow, or I believe that's what it's called. But something like this. I mean, something like that out of the field to get the field ready to go. Just little things. And when I say little things, that is an expensive piece of equipment that just one farmer or one outfit would need. Over here, let's go down just one more bit of the row here. You've got your combine heads. I honestly do not want to know how much one of these cost, because I can tell you right now, I can't afford it. But just putting one of those on a combine and including the combine, it's an entire system. Like this, I think it's like 50 feet long. Look at that. That's just one. And many of these farmers have multiple heads for their combine, depending on what they're growing. I think that one right there is for corn. This one here is for maybe wheat, soybeans. I'm just looking at all the stuff that we see here, and it's just one of the big things people need to do is thank a farmer, because they go through a lot. They spend a ton to keep food on our plate. Got a few minutes to drive around, so we're just gonna do that. I don't get very much time to see the sights, but we got a golf cart this time, so I'm gonna do a few minutes of running around. So I figured I'd bring you along with me. The rain that just came through around 3 o'clock spoiled the mood for everybody, and I think they all just left. So we're doing the same thing. I mean, it closed at 4 anyway, so all the exhibitors are heading out. But it was a good experience. We got another day. I'm gonna be here for another day, and gonna probably do some of my own work, and then hopefully I can do some play here. There is one booth I want to get to that has the I think it's the VTI, Variable Industry Tent. It has a lot of mixed bag stuff, so I would like to go and check that stuff out. All right, so it's Farm Progress Day 2. It's a lot hotter than yesterday, and there's a lot more people because, well, there's no rain this time. We're gonna go up. There's a tent up here that has a couple booths. It's actually a mixed bag of booths. I'd like to go walk through that real quick. So let's see if I can get up there. Where are we? We are on 9th Street, and I believe it's a couple more rows over.
tent had some interesting stuff in it. I'll have to go back through and probably look at it myself just to see, kind of understand a little bit more what I was looking at. But figured I'd do a quick walkthrough. And at this point, it's coming up on the end of the show today. So I gotta head back to my booth and gather up my stuff so we can head back to the hotel. So on to day 3. Alright, it is day 3 here at Farm Progress. I actually don't have much time. I got to catch my flight this afternoon, but I'm on a mission. I got to get my son something. One of them loves John Deere, the other one is indifferent, so we'll see what we can find. But I'm going to try to run up here to the John Deere booth to see if they have any of those goodies or just something I can buy so I can get them something from here and I can bring it back. And also brought Murphy. Something I do with every trip is I bring this guy with me. So we got to get a picture with a tractor. Here you go, little man. Grabbing one of those. And one of those. Hello. Throw a couple of those on there too.
I'll just put it here.
That'll work. Awesome. Thank you very much.
No problem.
All right, got my stuff for the kids. Let's do some looking. I got some footage for my son because he loves John Deere. I'm gonna run around to the bigger booths to see what there is because I don't have much more time here, so I want to try to see what else is in these big booths before I head back to my own booth and where my coworkers are. Let's get moving. Yeah, I think Case is over here. Let's go over here. Actually, you know what? Before we do that, I want to see the Wall of Honor. Excuse me.
I need somebody willing to get up before dawn, milk cows, work all day in the fields, milk cows again, eat supper, then go to town and stay past midnight at the meeting of the school board. So God made a plan. God said I need somebody willing to sit up all night with a newborn colt and watch it die and dry its eyes and say maybe next year. I need somebody who can shake an axe handle or a persimmon sprout, show a horse with a freedom.
Oh, that was interesting. I think that's the first time they're here, so hopefully they come back the next time. All right, here's the Case booth. Let's see what they've got. One of our systems on a large square baler. This one is an oil system that is running to these divider valves, and every single one of those lines you see actually snakes out to a lubrication point. Imagine having to manually grease this unit every day, and instead of doing that, the system does it for you. Something like that is what the company I work for assembles and puts together. Actually, our distributors do that. We just manufacture and supply the parts so that systems like this could be put on either OEM or aftermarket. So, yep, there it is right there. That's one of our grease systems, I'm sorry. I believe the other side there is an oil system. Basically, instead of using a manual grease gun, one of these will do that for you. I believe this side was just the tractors and some of the pulling implements. Here's my golf cart. There it is over there. Let's head on to the other side where I believe the combines are. All right, well, that's the end of farm progress for me. I gotta go catch my flight so I can get back home. Oh, there's my rental. Oh my goodness. Whew, it is hot out there. Oh, rental needs an oil change. I unfortunately didn't get to see everything, but for the little bit that I could get around, it's amazing to see all the new technology that's out there for the agricultural industry. What I could see, I mean, I wanted to see some of the drones, and also I like nostalgia, so I was wanting to see some of the older tractors, kind of just go look around. Unfortunately, I can't get to it all. I am also working, and in the few minutes that I can go around, I mean, it's whatever I can do with the golf cart walking from my booth. So hopefully you got to see some stuff that really it's interesting. Hopefully you can maybe get to one of these in a year or so. The next one is in Decatur. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked what you saw, feel free to like and subscribe. I do have a couple more events that we will be going to, and if I have some time, I will try to record and show you those events as well. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.